What happens when a boss decides to step out of his high-rise office and walk into his business as just another customer? Let's dive into the story of Marcus Daniels, a self-made entrepreneur who built his car dealership empire from scratch. What he discovers on this particular day shakes him to his core, teaching him a lesson about leadership, trust, and second chances. Marcus Daniels wasn't just any businessman. He was a man who understood the value of hard work. Growing up in a small town with nothing but ambition in his pocket, Marcus learned early on that success doesn't come without struggle. From washing cars in his teenage years to selling them at 20, Marcus built his first dealership at 28. By 45, he owned over 30 dealerships across the country. Though his success was immense, Marcus believed in staying grounded. He often told his employees, "Treat every customer with respect. They're not just buying a car, they're trusting us with their dreams." But as his empire grew, Marcus found himself tied to board meetings, corporate strategies, and business expansions. He rarely had time to visit his dealerships. One day, a concerned email from a customer caught his attention. The email described a manager at one of his flagship locations as rude, dismissive, and unprofessional. This wasn't the first complaint Marcus had heard about that location. It troubled him deeply. How could this happen under my watch? Marcus wondered. He decided to investigate personally, without revealing his identity. Marcus arrived at the dealership early on a Monday morning. Wearing a simple hoodie and jeans, he looked nothing like the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company. He wanted to see the place through the eyes of an ordinary customer. The dealership was buzzing with activity. Sales associates moved around, greeting potential buyers, but there was something off about the atmosphere. It felt rushed and impersonal. The warmth Marcus prided his business on was missing. Marcus walked to the reception desk where he was met by an employee named Trevor. Trevor barely glanced up, muttering, "What do you need?" Marcus replied calmly, "I'm looking to buy a car. Could you help me out?" Trevor sighed, pointing toward the main showroom. "Talk to a sales associate over there. I'm busy." Marcus raised an eyebrow, but didn't say anything. He wandered toward the showroom, observing the interactions. It wasn't long before he overheard a heated exchange between a customer and the dealership's manager, Clint Walker. Clint was a tall, imposing man in his early 40s. He carried himself with an air of authority that bordered on arrogance. Marcus watched as Clint dismissed the customer's concerns about a faulty car with a wave of his hand. "You signed the paperwork," Clint said coldly. "If you didn't want the car, you shouldn't have bought it. Not my problem now." The customer, a young man named Tyler, looked devastated. "But the car broke down within a week. You promised it was in great condition." Clint leaned in, his tone dripping with disdain. "Promises don't mean guarantees. Now, if you're done wasting my time, I have real customers to deal with." Marcus felt his chest tighten. This wasn't just poor customer service, it was outright disrespect. He decided to test Clint himself. Approaching Clint, Marcus pretended to be a first-time buyer. "Excuse me, sir, I'm interested in one of your sedans. Could you guide me?" Clint barely glanced at him. "Look around. The prices are on the cars. If you're serious, come back with a budget." Marcus replied, "I'd appreciate some advice. I'm new to buying cars." Clint rolled his eyes. "Listen, buddy, I don't have time for window shoppers. Either buy something or leave." Marcus's heart sank. This was the man representing his business? He decided it was time to reveal the truth, but he needed more information first. Later that evening, Marcus stayed behind after the dealership closed. He introduced himself to a few employees, including a young salesman named Kevin. Marcus revealed his identity but swore Kevin to secrecy. "Tell me honestly, Kevin, how's the work environment here?" Marcus asked. Kevin hesitated before speaking. "It's tough, Mr. Daniels. Clint, he's not the best leader. He's harsh, and he doesn't care about customers. A lot of us are scared to say anything because he's close to some higher-ups." Marcus felt a knot in his stomach. He had trusted people like Clint to uphold the values of his business. But clearly, that trust had been misplaced. The next morning, Marcus called for a staff meeting. He stood in front of the team, wearing the same hoodie and jeans from the day before. "My name is Marcus Daniels," he began. "I'm the owner of this dealership, and every dealership with my name on it." The room fell silent. Clint's face turned pale. Marcus recounted his experience from the previous day. "I came here as a customer, and what I saw broke my heart. This dealership was built on trust and respect, but yesterday I saw neither." Turning to Clint, he said, "Your behavior was unacceptable. You disrespected not just me, but every customer who walks through these doors." Clint stammered, "Mr. Daniels, I didn't know." "It shouldn't matter who I am," Marcus interrupted. "Every customer deserves to be treated with dignity." Marcus announced Clint's dismissal on the spot. He then addressed the rest of the team. "I'm not here to point fingers. I'm here to rebuild. Starting today, we're going back to the values this business was founded on." Over the next few weeks, Marcus worked closely with the dealership team. He promoted Kevin, the young salesman, to interim manager, believing in his potential. He also implemented new training programs and personally spoke to customers to understand their needs. The transformation was remarkable. Customers began to return, praising the renewed energy and respect they felt. Marcus knew there was still work to do, but he was determined to make things right. As Marcus drove away from the dealership one evening, he reflected on the experience. Success, he realized, isn't just about growing a business. It's about nurturing the people who make it thrive. Trust can be broken, but with effort and sincerity, it can also be rebuilt. The moral of the story? Leadership isn't about power, it's about responsibility. Marcus Daniels learned that sometimes you have to walk in as a stranger to see the truth and use that truth to create something better. And that's how one undercover visit changed an entire business for the better. That's the story, friends. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure sharing it with you all. Don't forget to comment below and let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see the global reach of these stories. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories, tips, and tricks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. If you'd like to show some extra love, tap the 3 dots near the share button and send a super thanks.